Hello and welcome once again. This is Inside the Game, and of course, thank you so much for staying with us. And of course, we are live on Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. Of course, I go by Mr. Cricket, and with me I have Coach Kami. I tried to borrow her hat tonight, but to no avail. Kami,
we can't have that happening at all.
Yeah. So another successful sporting week. I'm not too sure if you were able to take in the Caribbean games where we had Ornella Walker and our Guildford in netball as well.
Of course, I watched. I took a peep at some of the netball games.
Right.
Of course, we had our athletes, Kelly George, participating in that. I did not get to see any of the swimming, but I must say congratulations to Ornella. Definitely, she went out there and she did fantastic. Representing herself.
As expected. Coming from Castara.
As expected.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the girls finished fourth. Losing one of the game, there was a tight
that was against
game.
St. Lucia.
Yes,
I watched
losing
that game.
in the last second,
I watched that game.
which pushed them down to fourth. Unfortunately, they finished in fourth, but I must say, well done. Well done to the teams.
I mean, when it comes to certain sport, right? It has certain teams not supposed to be beating me, and that's why they're sitting away. Okay. I mean, I expect Jamaica to give you a little licking and thing, right? But St. Lucia and Barbados not supposed to be beating me in that ball, man. That is how I see it, right? But I just always say these tournaments, these events, is a good yardstick to measure where we are at in terms of all of our sporting disciplines. And these girls under 23, they are right there to the senior team.
Yes,
in a sense, so I'm hoping that they would have learned from this experience. I saw the disappointment on their faces when they were lost to St. Lucia.
Definitely, because
by
they
1
know,
point.
They know where their standings would have been.
You know, first time out in the Caribbean game, so kudos to them. And also congratulations to Ornella. I think she won 2 individual medals and I think 1 in the relay as well.
Yes.
And I think she achieved a meet record in the 50-meter backstroke. Last when she was here, she spoke about it, and and she went and she achieved that. So congratulations to her. And it's always upward. But we have a really packed program tonight, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, packed one. So
we had a little mishap with technology. However, we are here, we are live. So make sure and share the live, tell a friend, tell your neighbor, shout to your neighbor and tell them, hey, join on Facebook, we live.
Yes, and then, of course, tonight we have introduced tonight that persons or the viewers can, get inside the game by, of course, sending their voice notes to 284-6597. Send your voice notes. We want to hear from you. We may not discuss all these sporting disciplines that you may want to hear from us, but let us know and let us have that discussion. Once again, 284-6597. Keep it very clean, very short, very sweet, and get to the point. You understand that, right? As I said, we have a really packed program tonight. We have, of course, Kenya Corner, professional footballer. She's in the building as well. Right, we have a very strong guy supposed to be here as well, Mr. Kelton Thomas. And then we're going to hear from Mr. George Commission, right, of the entries.
I'm glad you pronounced that.
Commission. Right. And then we have, of course, Mr. Peter Granville. For those who would have watched that game, the Trinidad and Tobago women's national team would have been defeated against Canada. And we're going to talk about that game tonight because we do have another game tomorrow against Costa Rica. So we want to know how best we can communicate what we hear from Mr. Granville tonight to Mr. Kenwin Jones to make the girls better. And of course, we're going to hear from Kenya as well. Maybe we can still try to get Kenya to go across there and play. But they're going to hear from Kenya first up. Right? We're going to take a break. All right?
Yes.
And we're going to come back for our first interviewee, Miss Kenya Corner. Right? Remember, we are interactive, informative,
and entertaining.
Fantastic. And we have the ball coffee. You see what coffee does? Yes, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back.
Let's go! Joining us on Inside the Game is the former head coach of Tobago United, Peter Granville. We'll be breaking down the Trinidad and Tobago women football team defeat to Canada and much more. You can also have your say by sending your voice notes to 284-6597. Inside the Game, interactive, informative, and entertaining. Every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. only on Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. Get inside the game.
Tobago, it's your turn. The N3ATT hosts its 2022 National Junior Championships at the Dwight York Stadium on July 9th and 10th at 10 a.m. on both days. Admission $40. Children under 12 are free. Come see the best junior athletes from across Trinidad and Tobago, including those from the 2022 Carifta Games. This is the last opportunity for athletes to attain the qualification standard for the World Under 20 Championships to be held in Cali, Colombia from August 1st to 6th. Tobago, come out and support the National Junior Championships, July 9th and 10th at the Dwight York Stadium.
Welcome back. Remember, we are inside the game, live on Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. Share the live. And of course, as I mentioned before we took the break, you can call 284. In fact, send your voice notes to 284-6597. Keep it clean, keep it very short, and keep it sporty. You understand? Right?
Yes, please.
Right, so we are pleased to be joined by this. Give me an adjective. Why you like to do that? This outstanding young lady, all the way from Turkey, from Dentist Bayside, then to Tobago Updates. I've seen you have been making the rounds in Tobago, but you are finally on the best sports show in Trinidad and Tobago, inside the game. Thank you for being here with us here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. You good?
Real good.
How are you enjoying the weather in Tobago? I know you are from I know, you know. How are you enjoying the weather in Tobago?
I can't complain.
I can't complain.
It's a bit too hot.
It's a bit too. You ready to go back to Turkey?
Not really, but yeah.
yeah. Of course, so many things to talk about, but of course we only have like 10 minutes to talk those things, right? Important things. I know there are so many things that persons want to hear from you, right? You could talk about Trinidad and Tobago's football. We could talk about your stint in Turkey. We talk about your upcoming event. But let me jump off with Turkey, right? 34 goals, outstanding stuff. Leading goal scorer. I mean, you saw that when you went into the league?
Not really. Because I left Norway not knowing what to expect in Turkish league.
Yeah.
But the feeling that I had there the first day that I arrived was an amazing feeling. So I knew that was my place to play football. And I was happy. So when I'm happy, my football is good.
Right. And you said the feeling in terms of the atmosphere in the team, they made you feel welcome.
Yeah, like it's family oriented with them. They hug you, they ask if you're okay and all these things. Every single day you come to practice is the same thing. So it was just that energy that drives me on the field.
You have played probably all over the world, right? And now you are based in Turkey as a Caribbean lady. Well, in fact, let me say a Tobago lady of color, right? Have you ever been like the victim of racism at all?
No.
And not in Turkey at all?
No.
And is that something that you expect when you go across and play?
Well, I just go to play football. If they want to act like that, that's them. But I've never experienced it in all my career. Yeah.
And talk to us about this season. You would have topped the league, right? But you would have been knocked out at the playoff stages.
No, we lost in the semi-finals. But overall, like in Turkey, like say for instance, pretty much it's like 10 teams that is like really, really good. And the rest is like mediocre. And so that's why we was winning
you play
like...
top tier. You play top tier, right?
That's why we was winning like 10-0 and 11-0 and this type
of
stuff.
Have you... Have you... Okay. So because I saw where you are... Because I thought that the league was finished and you told me that you have to play playoffs.
Yeah.
So why you had to play the playoffs?
Because it's two groups, because it's too much teams and too much games. So they split it into 12 teams. So one group was Group A and Group B. So the first 4 teams in each group come together and play the playoffs and then
so you weren't familiar with the teams in the other group?
No.
So would you say the teams in the other group were probably stronger than the teams in your group?
Actually, no, we just didn't come prepared to play and go out there and give it all on the semi-finals. So,
so are we going to be seeing you again in Turkey?
Yes, I'm going back on the 29th.
On the 29th. I see Camille like want to jump in here.
No, I'm just taking everything in. Yeah. My section is when it comes to the tournament, so you take it away.
Fantastic. Go back out on the 29th.
Yeah.
And you are aiming to, of course, repeat what you would have done in this first season.
Pretty much.
Right. If someone is to come and ask you, hey, yeah, you have the opportunity to play in the best league in the world, which league would you say? Or in fact, where do you want to end up? Is it that you're going to finish off in Turkey, or you are aiming for something bigger than Turkey?
Well, my goal was to play in the Women's League in England, but unfortunately Trinidad and Tobago is not on the world stage, so it's hard for me as a Trinidad and Tobago player to get into the football in the UK.
So how does that work? Just explain that for me.
I think you have to rank in the first 22 or lower than that. You have to be on the world stage. You have to make World Cup in order for them to take you into.
So England is like the top.
Yeah, England is the top
for women.
Yeah,
that's like we're Manchester United and all these.
Yes,
they're the best team, the best club in the world, Manchester United. Yeah, but
let's not start that, please.
Fantastic. I mean, yeah. Trinidad and Tobago people, right? They're saying Kenya Yaya Corner, even on front pages. 34 goals, countless hat tricks for a foreign club and not for Trinidad and Tobago, right? I mean, this might be uncomfortable for you, but I think it's something that we like to clear up in a sense now, but this is just come inside the game for. Is the passion still there to represent Trinidad and Tobago?
Always. I'll always have the passion to represent my country, but things need to change and things need to be a lot better, because sometimes people don't know what goes on behind closed doors and they're quick to judge us because we step away. It's always, yeah, you're rude, yeah, you're this and yeah, that. But
you're not rude at all.
I have my ways, but there are certain things that you allow and certain things that you just say, okay, that's enough. And I choose to step away because of certain circumstances, but
is this for the present administration, or is it with when I say administration, the caretaker administration now, or is it with the management of the football team from coach, manager, come right down? Is this, if you want to narrow it down?
Well, it's just basically it's the same thing over and over again, because back in 2017 I walked away from the national team because it was too much for me. For a decade I was going to Trinidad. Sometimes I have to pay for myself, and it was just so overwhelming that I said, you know what, Janelle, I can't do it again. And after I left the practice, the media destroyed me. I was rude to the coach. I got a suspension letter and all these type of stuff. So I was just like, I cannot be at peace just walking away. So I decided to come back in 2018. And then I left again. I come back again recently. It's the same thing over and over.
And do you want to be like specific, like what are some of those things that you have come like not comfortable with as a professional player? Because I mean, you play abroad, you understand the setup where professionalism is, and then you come back here and you're meeting that.
Yeah, because it's like we have players that cannot take constructive criticism. And when you back at them, they go into the shell, and I'm like, this player want to play professionally. The coach will tell you all kind of things, and if you cannot take that at the next level, it's best you go back where you come from. And if you can't take it here, which the national team is supposed to be a professional environment, what's the sense you want to play?
So you are saying as a senior player, you would have passed on your knowledge and experience to players, but they're not welcoming to the advice.
Because it's always, we mindset in Trinidad and Tobago, it's always someone trying to bring you down.
Right, and then might think that,
but it's not that. They have to change to adapt, and they don't want to. So that's why the program cannot grow.
Because I mean, it's no secret that people believe that probably you and the coach have
it had nothing to do with the coach.
It's just a system that you are.
Nothing to do with coach. Like I said, I will not get into that because that's another topic. And right about now, the women national team is playing, so the focus needs to be on them and not me.
But tell me about the game that night before. I mean, what could they have done better to avoid a 6-0 defeat, or could they have done anything better?
To be honest,
than what they produced?
To be honest, they could have done a lot better, like being calm and not being nervous, settle, trying to put passes together instead of when they get it, just kicking it away. They just needed to be calm, and the coach needed to keep them calm instead of trying to have them running here, there, and everywhere. But if they had just remained calm and just try to play the football instead of, you know how back in the days, get it and just kick it here, there, and everywhere. And that's not good football anymore.
Yeah, you are in the dressing room right now of that Trinidad and Tobago team coming up that 6-0 defeat. What is your message to them?
In the dressing room now?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, these things happen, and we cannot go back to the past. We cannot say we could have done this and we could have done that. We should have done it on the field. But it already happened. What can we do? Pick ourselves up and go out again and give our all again for the red, white, and black.
Do you see us qualifying out of this group?
To be honest, well, they need to be.
Well, we know we didn't the you know, but still.
No, no. They need to want it more.
Yes.
Individually and together collectively.
Okay.
And not one person want it and the rest don't want it, because Kimika did excellent.
Yeah, right. She was brilliant in the goal, yeah.
After a while, she will get tired because they were coming, and so I have to say that she was the best player out on the field for that game.
I think for all those who watched the game, we actually saw that she actually kept us in the game up until the 70th minute with the saves that she pulled off.
She saved us a lot.
You know, but I mean, as a fan of you and a fan of your style of play, I mean, I would have loved to see you out there representing the country. But I understand how thing goes, and I'm hoping that before you decide to hang up your boots, that we can see you once again running on for the red, white, and black. You think we can make that happen?
Hopefully that day will come soon, because I always like to represent my country.
Yes. And it's a really, really good feeling. Camille, I see like you want. Okay, you're messaging Kenwin. Is Kenwin calling there? Is Kenwin? I thought I was calling Kenwin.
No, I was actually just looking for the flyer. So I know you are backing Tobago now, and one of the first things that I saw was that you put out a flyer, you're hosting a tournament. Now, I was elated by that, because of course, for me as a PE teacher, I try to always teach my students, especially being back at Signal Hill. I always try to tell them about I went here, you know, kind of way like to hype them up and stuff. So I was very much happy to see that you are now back here and you are hosting a tournament. So my job now, I know like back. My job now is just to talk a little bit about the tournament. What prompted you to keep this tournament?
Well, it was in the running years now, but COVID happened and I didn't get to pull it off. But I start from nothing. And the youths, some of them, they don't feel appreciated. And I want them to feel appreciated. I want to come and give back. With the little that I have, I want to give them so that they feel appreciated. And I could watch them play, even give them some tips how to be better. They could come and they could talk to me, they could sit down, they could take pictures and interact with me and this type of stuff. And they will feel appreciated and happy to be around somebody who is out there playing and coming to give them something and give them more. And even take few of them names or videos
like a scouting.
So that teams could see them or one day they could go out and get the same opportunity I did. Fantastic. Or even better than I.
Right. I saw so tell us for the viewers' sake, when is the tournament? What age groups are you taking? Is it male alone or is it male or female? You give them the information.
Well, first off, I like to say thanks to the sponsors, because without them it wouldn't happen.
Of course.
And the age group, we had to make a little changes because of the COVID years. Because originally it was U8, U10, U12, and U14 boys and U17 girls. But now we switch it to U9, U11, U13, and U15 boys, and it remains the same U17 girls.
Okay. Yeah. All right, and what day?
July 16th.
July 16th. So that's what, 2 weeks?
That's next Saturday.
Next Saturday?
That's next Saturday. Yeah, that's right there. Yeah.
Wow. that's okay, so that's next Saturday. Okay, nice. And upper space side, white space side.
Yeah.
That's where I started. At 8-6. That's the ground that I started playing on. And I want to give back to the community at Speyside and put the spotlight on Speyside. And one more thing on. Should I share it? No, I'll wait for that day.
Just warm up the people now and they're waiting that day. All right, nice. So, it's going to be hosting her tournament up at Speyside on the 16th of July. Of course, you would have heard the age groups that would be participating on that. And the females, You know, I like to ask about females. Of course, I know being a female athlete, she would not leave out the females.
Yes.
So the females are going to be in action at Speyside. That's definitely.
So yeah, you playing as well, or you just managing it? You're not gonna show some skills.
Overlooking everything.
and is it this gonna be one-off, or you're looking to make this an annual thing?
It's gonna be an annual thing.
Yeah, because I know that your former teammate, soon to be teammate again, Karine Forbes. She has a really nice one at Plymouth, and it's good that you are taking one to the east. Because I am, yes, I really like that idea. And Speyside is really nice to have this event. So I am employing the people of Tobago. It's not only for people in the east, right?
No.
Anybody can register.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Right, and is there a registration fee attached to it?
No, it's for free.
Free of charge. You see, free, and you are in the presence of greatness. Yeah, it's great. Just scored 34 goals of 25 games and countless hat-tricks. I can't even score a goal, right? You know, and to have her back here, and we are very much happy to call you our own. And if it is that you never felt that before, I'm telling you now, Tobagonians are very prideful of you, proud of you, and every time you go out there and represent yourself, you're representing Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm happy that you're back home, you know, looking for more yayas.
Of course, putting back, putting back into Tobago to make more yayas.
Yes, I can call other names that didn't do that, you know, but that's our next discussion. That's discussion. Yeah. So any food, any?
No, that's it. I just
anything you want to say? Yeah. Say anything. You can tell Kenwin something else if you want.
Listen to me.
Yeah. Before you go, any final comments from you?
No. I'll just continue to be my humble self, go out and continue to put Tobago on the map, because Turkish people don't know where Tobago is, and Trinidad and Tobago is. So I will continue to make Tobago worldwide. Yeah.
Whatever happened to that young lady that gave you that hard tackle that you shared? I think you shared it on Facebook. I wish I had it here tonight. That tackle, and I saw you like you squared her up. I mean, she was taller than you, but I know, watch me, they can't stop you from Tobago, you know. Yeah. That was, I mean, so you are like a target out there now.
Yeah, I am.
Because you would have made a really good impression in this.
Of course.
Before you go, right? Some people may ask a question as a woman footballer in a professional league. Is it financially rewarding for you, or you think that women need to get more?
It could be a little bit more, because compared to the men, it's not even there.
Right.
So it could be a little bit more, but it's changing as you see.
Because I saw in the US,
Netherlands doing it, Australia doing it, so it's changing now.
Fantastic. I hope that one day that you end up in the England League, as you really hope to, but for Manchester United, you know.
No, I'll play for Chelsea.
Right, folks, thanks so much. We have been chatting with Kenya Yaya Corner, our professional footballer, right? She has pledged, if things change with the TTFA somewhere down the road, we can see her back in the red, white, and black. But for now, we just have to wish the team that we have now all the best in their remaining matches. Always a pleasure chatting to you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Right? We're going to take a break, come back with more interviews.
Let's go!
Joining us on Inside the Game is the former head coach of Tobago United, Peter Granville. We'll be breaking down the Trinidad and Tobago women football team defeat to Canada and much more. You can also have your say by sending your voice notes to 284-6597. Inside the Game, interactive, informative, and entertaining. Every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. only on Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. Get Inside the Game.
Tobago, it's your turn. The N3ATT hosts its 2022 National Junior Championships at the Dwight York Stadium on July 9th and 10th at 10 a.m. on both days. Admission $40. Children under 12 are free. Come see the best junior athletes from across Trinidad and Tobago, including those from the 2022 Carifta Games. This is the last opportunity for athletes to attain the qualification standard for the World Under 20 Championships, to be held in Cali, Colombia from August 1st to 6th. Tobago, come out and support the National Junior Championships, July 9th and 10th at the Dwight York Stadium.
Joining us on Inside the Game is the former head coach of Tobago United, Peter Granville. We'll be breaking down the Trinidad and Tobago women football team defeat to Canada and much more. You can also have your say by sending your voice notes to 284-6597. Inside the Game, interactive, informative, and entertaining. Every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. only on Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. Get inside the game.
Let's go!
And welcome back to Inside the Game. Of course, you would have just seen a beautiful ad about what is happening this weekend, Saturday and Sunday to be exact, right here in our little beautiful island of Tobago. Of course, we have the junior champs happening this weekend, and I have the president of the N3As on the line to just to tell us a little bit about this weekend's event, what is going to be happening, what is expected to be seen. Mr. George Commission, I hope I got that correct. Mr. George, good night.
Good night to you and to your viewers and listeners.
Hi, thank you for joining us. All right, so tell us a little bit about your portfolio at the N3As of what do you do, what is your position? Tell us a little bit.
Well, I'm currently the president of the association. I would have been part of the leadership, if you like, for the last 24 years, most of which I would have served as first vice president. The team that I lead would have come into office last November the 27th. So we have not yet made a full year. I'm currently a retiree, so more or less it's N3As work on a daily basis.
Okay, nice. So, of course, I know you would have had two successful events. We had the juvenile champs and then you had the senior champs. And now the junior champs is being held in Tobago. What prompted the decision to hold that event in Tobago?
Well, there are a few things. Normally, we consider June Championship Month. It starts with the juvenile championships, usually the first weekend in June. Then we follow with the junior championships, if you like, we're going up in age from juvenile to junior. And that is normally in the middle of the month. And then we end the month, the last weekend in the month, we would have the National Open Championships. This year, the CXC and Cape, the exams for Cape and CXC were pushed back somewhat. And we found that the championship was falling almost in the middle of the exams. Athletes were having some challenges training and competing and reconciling that with sitting exams. Additionally, we had the challenge on both the air and sea bridge for athletes to be moving in between the two islands. So we decided that we would in fact push it back to the first weekend in July, the second weekend, because the month starts.
Yes.
The weekend immediately following the closure of school. Right. It would have given the athletes the opportunity to sit their exams and so on, but it would have also allowed for a bit more preparation because the championships over the weekend is in fact the last opportunity that they will have for making qualifying standards to compete at the World Athletics Under 20 Championships to be held in Cali, Colombia. It's the end of the first week, about the first week, the second to the 7th, or the first to the 6th, you have to forgive me, but it's definitely the first week in August.
All right, nice. And is it that is it going to be a regular thing that at least one of the champs is going to be held in Tobago, or is it just this year? Tell us.
Well, we're working on that. Very early in our term, we met with the leadership of the THA. It was the start. The elections were more or less around the same time. So we came in brand new, and well, the THA leadership is brand new. So we would
Right.
have paid a courtesy call on the chief secretary, and we did have some preliminary discussion around it. Um, how can the association help to position the sport in Tobago a little better than it is currently? And one obvious way is bringing an event, a major event to the island. There are some other potential opportunities. We have, for example, held the NACA cross country
Yes.
championships in the past at Mount Irvin, which was an international meet for cross country runners and so on. So we're exploring some things that could progress in the future.
Okay, nice. And no, I love that. I love that you all are exploring bringing stuff to Tobago, of course. Most times we usually have to travel to come to Trinidad. They can travel and come up some meters sometimes. Right? But I know one of the problems would have been that, especially with the pole vault. I know for a fact that the pole vault equipment was not unable to come up, and some of the clubs, well, one of our clubs had to travel to Trinidad last weekend to participate in that pole vault competition. Are we looking at getting the similar equipment that Trinidad has? Are we looking to get that stuff to Tobago so that stuff like that wouldn't have to happen? If the event is keeping in Tobago, we can have, because I know some persons were very excited. I was definitely one who was very excited to see that pole vault competition, and then I heard it ended up being in Trinidad because the equipment is too large, and they're afraid, well, it's too large to bring across. Right? So are we looking at getting similar equipment for Tobago so that when we do have a championships, or when we do have such a major event over here, it can be kept over here in one place, and that's it? Are we looking to get stuff like that done?
Well, I know for a fact that there is an order in for equipment for Tobago. I'm not sure if the pole vault equipment is part of the order. What really happened was that the pole vault, the mat, is down on the grounds for training purposes. But with the rain, it's waterlogged. So trying to move pole vault mat and so on waterlogged, that would have been a challenge to bring over. So given the interest by, it was essentially two clubs,
yes,
we decided that it was easier to move the athletes
than to move the mat.
Move the mat. And the clubs agreed, so we were able to pull that off on Sunday morning. And I think the pole vaulters enjoyed it.
Definitely did. I saw some videos, of course. You may not be very familiar with me, but I am part of RSS Phoenix. I hold many hats, so that is actually a club that I am part of. I'm the juniors coach, so the juveniles coach, sorry. So the babies were mine, so now the juniors are in action this weekend. Right, so the guys did have fun coming down and participating. Right, so this weekend is up. Are you ready and set to go?
Well, I was in the office earlier today, and I was assured by Mr. Babulal, Alan Babulal, who is the chairman of the events committee, that things are more or less in place for Saturday and Sunday, the weekend. He is coming over to Tobago, I believe, early tomorrow. I will be coming in tomorrow night. So all reports are that things are more or less in place. There would obviously be some last minute things to treat with, the technician coming in, the running out of the photo finish equipment, the line setting up the cameras and things like that. But I've been told that things are in place for weekend.
All right, nice. And what's the start time on both days?
It's 10 o'clock both Saturday and Sunday. The opening ceremony is at 1:30 on Saturday. So if you like, we're starting, but having an opening ceremony
at 1:30.
At 1:30.
Okay. And I know for the juveniles, they were not able to get their medals right away. Are medals going to be presented tomorrow? Not tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday to the juniors? They're going to have their podium moment.
Yes, most definitely. And perhaps by way of explanation, we really tried to get some special medals this year. If you've seen them, they are really nice. So They were imported from outside. We didn't use a local supplier.
Right.
Unfortunately, the medals were late in coming in. But I understand that all the winners would have received their medals by now. They were batched and sent to the clubs for onward distribution. We would have presented medals at the Open Championships. And yes, I can assure you that
that's it.
over
We're
the
getting
weekend,
tomorrow.
the juniors will, in fact, yes. We do apologize for the one with the juveniles. Out of the three age groups, they are the ones that perhaps are most interested in collecting medals. So we
Yes.
recognize that there was some disappointment, and for that we humbly apologize.
Don't worry, we had you back. We tried to explain to the Tobago public, you know, that stuff do happen, and I like how it was handled, that we will explain to that, you know, this is what happened, and clubs were very understanding. We didn't have a problem, and of course, as he said, we did receive our medals, and they are absolutely beautiful. And the kids, we have not, well, our club have not presented them to the athletes as yet, but I know they will be elated to receive them, right? Mr. George Commission, I thank you so much for being here, you know, sharing a little bit about the competition this weekend. Guys, remember this competition, it will be happening Saturday and Sunday at the Dwight York Stadium. First of all, I would love to invite everybody to get yourselves there. However, if you're in a position where you can't, we will be streaming it live on Tobago Sports Live. Yes, Mr. George, anything else you want to tell the public?
Well, I just want to encourage them to come out. It will, in fact, be the best of our junior athletes on display. We had a very successful stint at Carifta this year. The athletes would have won some 23 medals, which is a good and healthy sign that the sport did not suffer as much as some anticipated from the COVID. The athletes have competed, they're in good condition. We expect team competition over the weekend. And we want to encourage Tobago and certainly fans from Trinidad who may be making the trip over to come out and support the young athletes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being on. Thank you for your words. Of course, again, guys, that is happening this weekend at the Dwight York Stadium. As you would have heard Mr. Commission say, come out and support the athletes. They are always looking for your support. They are always wanting to perform in front of a crowd, to show their skill in front of a crowd. So come out and support them. Once again, thanks to Mr. Commission for coming on. Thank you so much. Yes, guys, we'll take a break right now and we'll be right back with Marcus. He has an interview with one of the strongest men here in Tobago. All right, we'll be right back.
Let's go! Tobago, it's your turn. The N3ATT hosts its 2022 National Junior Championships at the Dwight York Stadium on July 9th and 10th at 10 a.m. on both days. Admission $40. Children under 12 are free. Come see the best junior athletes from across Trinidad and Tobago, including those from the 2022 Carifta Games. This is the last opportunity for athletes to attain the qualification standard for the World Under 20 Championships, to be held in Cali, Colombia from August 1st to 6th. Tobago, come out and support the National Junior Championships, July 9th and 10th at the Dwight York Stadium.
Joining us on Inside the Game is the former head coach of Tobago United, Peter Granville. We'll be breaking down the Trinidad and Tobago women football team defeat to Canada and much more. You can also have your say by sending your voice notes to 284-6597. Inside the Game, interactive, informative, and entertaining. Every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. only on Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. Get inside the game.
Let's go!
Yeah, welcome back, welcome back. Just before the break, Kami mentioned that we have a very strong individual in the studio. She was referring to me, right? Yes, but let me say thank you so much for staying with us. Remember to share the live. We are live on Tobago Updates and Tobago Sports Live. But indeed, the strong guy coming referred to is Mr. Kelton Thomas, a former national bodybuilder, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. He says he's now a veteran in the game. I know veterans normally try to impart, well, once you are a veteran, your job now is to impart knowledge onto the others that are coming up or who are aspiring to be bodybuilder. How are you, Kelton?
Not bad, you know, beside a few aches and pains, that's part of the course, you know.
But you're still looking in shape, man. Still looking in shape. Yeah. I must say that. You're still looking in shape. I'm trying to get like that.
Trying a little bit to see if I can keep the whole body going, you know. I gotta lead by example.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I saw recently you had bodybuilding, not bodybuilding, but a fitness. Should I say fitness?
It was actually a powerlifting, strength.
Powerlifting. I mean, how was that? Was it successful?
Yes, it was. It was quite successful actually. As I said, it started basically just as a brag between the guys in the gym.
Right.
There were guys bragging about who can bench more, who can squat more, you know, who can deadlift more, and so on. And you know, I thought it best to throw up the challenge.
Yes, man.
You know, it was not a lot of money involved.
Right.
You know, but whatever little money I had, I decided to put it into the competition and extend it throughout the gyms in Tobago.
Right.
I purposely did not involve the Trinidad guys as they are the experienced ones.
Right, good.
So, and of course, I have a very good relationship with Mr. Adrian Brown, who was once national powerlifting champion.
Right.
We used to travel to the Arnolds together. I would go for bodybuilding, he would go for powerlifting.
Right.
And he's now the president of the Powerlifting Association,
right.
and I'm obviously coach of the national bodybuilding team.
Right.
So I linked up with him and the former competitor as well, and I asked him if they can come and supervise the competition,
right.
and so that the Tobagoans can learn what the rules are, because we've never really had powerlifting competition here. So,
because some may think like the powerlifting is just what they normally do in the gym. But they have technicalities.
Oh yeah. They had a rude awakening, to be quite honest. You know, a lot of the guys think that you can just come down and what you do in the gym to press.
Right.
That's not powerlifting. They had to do it. There were strict rules that govern. You can't rack back up the weight until the judge says rack back
so
up.
You could be on the strain right there, but you had to wait.
Yeah, you go on command, and that was one of the things even I learned, you know, about the sport of powerlifting. Yeah. And it's also different to weightlifting.
Right. And in terms of the other gyms, how did they respond to the call to come and participate?
Oh, quite good. I think not all the gyms came out, because a lot of the gyms do not have strong lifters, but a lot of the guys...
Or persons who are not competitive.
Really. A lot of guys who were, I know, to be really strong guys in the gym, they were looking on, they were a little bit timid to hit the stage, so to speak. So they would come and they would look on and see what... And now I've been getting, you know, literally hundreds of calls. When are you having the next one? When are you having the next one?
And what's the name of your gym?
The Foundation Gym.
Foundation Gym located at...
Quarters 55 in Golden Grove Road.
Yeah. Were you always interested in... I want to get back to how you got involved in bodybuilding before I ask you about your national duty. Is it that you saw someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone and they wanted to be like those persons? How did you get involved in bodybuilding?
You know, strange enough, if you in Canaan Bonaccord within, I said in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, there were a group of young men that had belonged to the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Right.
And of course, Seventh-day Adventist young men didn't go to parties, so our pastime was hitting the gym. And my eldest brother, Keith Thomas...
It's free weights.
Just free weights. I mean, we started as just fooling around. Fortunately for us at that time, we had the national champion was from Bonaccord, a guy called Anthony Roberts. He was national heavyweight champion, and I think he was also third at the Caribbean, Caribbean and Central American Championships. So he was sort of our mentor. Then you had Richard Cox, which was a Tobago champion. He won one of the first Mr. Tobago shows. We still refer to him as Mr. Tobago as well. Some of the equipment that I have in the gym was donated to me by him. And some of the other older veterans. So when they learned of the project I was embarking on and keeping bodybuilding alive, they freely donated some equipment to me and so on.
That's good.
Yeah, so these old veterans all give back because we share the same dream and aspirations for the sport.
And we want to see it live on.
And we want to see it live on. And so that's why I kind of got into doing this. I got the opportunity after I became a national and then international competitor, and then moved up to the professional ranks. So I decided to start the gym. And my gym started as a community project. You know, and because I'm a real stickler for healthy living. You know, I hate to see people obese and overweight. And then, of course, you know, I went on to try and gain the knowledge. I did a couple of courses at the International School of Sports Science in Arizona. I did this, had to do the course online.
That's for you to understand the body.
To understand the body. In school, I always was into biology, so I understand the basic fundamentals of the human body. But to know how nutrition, the nutrition part of it, which is 80%, is the nutrition.
And 20% physical.
20% is the physical part of it, of course, the training.
You hear that? 80% nutrition and 20% physical. I think some people got it the other way around, you know. So that's how. So I try to share my knowledge, because even the guys that were teaching me in the gym did not understand how the body operates, how food affects the body. They would know, stuff would be passed on to them, but to understand the science of it is the real thing. Yes.
And one of the things I was encouraged to do that by now the deceased late John Joker Mills, who always said, Kelton, you have too much brains to just waste it. Go study the science of it. The science will get you through. And that's why I embarked on actually doing the course in advanced bodybuilding training and sports nutrition.
So what's the furthest or the top event that you have participated in as a bodybuilder and you're very proud of?
Two. Amateur Mr. Olympia. Mr. Olympia. I did amateur Mr. Olympia. In 2015, I competed. It was held in Liverpool, England.
And this is where the top bodybuilders around the world?
Yes, but only at the amateur level. There's the professional and then there's the amateur Olympia. It's the same thing because it's open field. And thank God I placed 6th at that competition, and that was still have my trophy and my medal at home. And I also got silver medal in the British Grand Prix in 2014.
British Grand Prix.
And that was a tough competition. And to get a silver medal there, I actually thought I'd won it. And and the guy who beat me is from Birmingham. And when we reviewed the tape, you know, the guys were saying, we knew you got him, but he's hometown. So he was held in Port Talbot in Wales. So he was home. So, but you know, I still felt quite proud.
What are some of the things they will look for as a bodybuilder? The judges, what are they looking for? Because I've seen bodybuilding competitions, and it's like a what is it way? A stylish thing, though, you know, your pose here.
It is the artistic.
Artistic.
Yeah, we do the artistic part of bodybuilding. Because I say everybody is a bodybuilder. And once you enter a gym, you're a bodybuilder.
Oh. Because you're sculpting.
Of course, of course. You're sculpting, you're trying to get stronger. And I always say that, you know, bodybuilding is the mother of all sports. Every single sportsman becomes a bodybuilder. Because you have to come to the gym. And the reason why you come to the gym is to get bigger and stronger.
So how come you don't have it in the Olympics?
I think over the years, the sport of bodybuilding has been plagued by, has a stigma where drugs are concerned. But you know, it's strange enough. More drugs have been found in other sports than actual bodybuilding. So
you have a point there.
So we have been working assiduously to try and stamp that out of the sport. I must say I have competed against guys who I know who were using substances to enhance. But as I said, it's par for the course. And just like cycling, you know, and running, there will always be a little cheats in everything. Unfortunately, that's the way of life.
So Kelton, you are now the national coach. This is coach of the senior team.
The national senior bodybuilding team.
And how long have you been the national coach?
It's 4 years now.
4 years?
Yeah, so 2 years, and then it was a 2-year contract I was appointed, and then, of course, COVID, we didn't get to do much, and so the president and the executive thought it best to just to renew my contract. I was only able to take the team in 2019. Was the last event we went to the Dominican Republic, where we took a small team, but we did quite well. I think we came back with 4 medals. We had one young lady from Tobago who got a gold medal at those championships.
And what's her name? I can't remember. Okay.
Miss, I'll remember her name. Senior moment there. I'll remember her name in a minute. But yeah, she did very well. You know, competition was not that stiff, but to go to CAC and get a gold medal is quite honorable. by any standard.
Right. So, and what you guys are currently working on? Are you preparing currently for?
Yeah, we've got CSC coming up in the next few weeks actually.
Right.
We only finalized sort of the team last week because we had screening done in Trinidad and we screened the Tobago bodybuilders because they couldn't go to Trinidad, so they were all screened at my gym, and the president was here, and so we have finalized and we've picked 4 Tobagonians who are going to be on the national team.
Do you have the names?
Yeah, we have Haran Henry, who's a former national Mr. Tobago champion in the Mr. Physique. We also have Kern Perry as well.
No, that's a fire officer, right?
Fire officer, yes. He's doing well. He's got great potential. This is Anthony, Kyle, what's Kyle's surname again? But Kyle is one of those guys you see off season, on season, he's still on point.
He's still on point.
And Angela, the female, the lone female, Miss Angela.
I know Miss Angela.
Yes. Well, she's the one that won goal.
She won goal
in the last in 2019. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna have those 4. They're quite experienced. So we're gonna take them on the national team.
Right. So, okay, fantastic. And what's the contingent in terms of Trinidad and Tobago?
In Trinidad, there's still some fine points to iron out with a couple of the athletes. Our greatest challenge at the moment is funding. As subventions and all, and not always come from the central government for the team. So even when I was an athlete, there was a policy in place in the Tobago House of Assembly, which was put there by Mr. London and Mr. Cadet at the time, who was the Secretary for Sport, where they sort of they made it clear to Miss Haddad, who is the president of our federation, that once there are any Tobago bodybuilders that get selected for international duty, that they would take care of their expenses.
And that's no longer in place.
Well, I must say that's how I was able to travel to all those international competitions. I mean, I've been to Antalya in Turkey, to Brazil several times, Spain every year for World Championships, Russia, Australia, you name it. And that was all funded by the Tobago House of Assembly because of that policy. Now, normally we know that if you're on a national team, that the national team is supposed to take care of your expenses. But unfortunately, we know that when it comes to central government, there will always be hiccups in terms of
providing. And Tobagonians, because...
Tobagonians are usually, for some reason, end up at the short end, get the short end.
Because as I said, right, I mean, the national team is based, all national teams are based in Trinidad. And most of the athletes who are living in Trinidad, they probably take a bus on the bus route, jump in the car and go to training. At Tobagonian, let's say you're living in the east or north side, get up early in the morning, probably take first flight, then they have to get a transport from the airport. If you can't take the plane, you go on the boat as well, and you have to get to training. It's uncomfortable.
Tell me about it.
And I think the disadvantage sometimes mentally as a Tobagonian, you give up because you have to just constantly be traveling. Yes. And I understand why that policy probably was in place to assist the Tobagonian, just to make it easier financially as well.
Oh yes, yes. It came about when I was Sportsman of the Year, and then I was nominated for Trinidad and Tobago Top Bodybuilder of the Year. I mean, I got that award 4 consecutive years. That's a record that nobody has touched yet. And it was at the award ceremony where we discussed it at length with Mr. London, at Chief Sec at the time, and he recognized the plight that I was going through and always have to struggle to get to Trinidad or struggle to get to international competitions. And he said, hey, listen. And Mr. Haddad explained where the finances come in with Kelton having to be able to compete at the top level. So I know that policy was put in place by the Assembly. So now we're hoping that this current administration will continue that same vein to adhere to that policy and support the Tobago athletes that make it onto the national team and has to compete at the next level. So things like CSC, or even if they qualify to go to World Championships or the Arnolds, the Tobago House of Assembly, should usually look after the Tobagonians.
Yes, yes.
So it gives us a little bit of a cushion. Because I remember once I was traveling to Australia for Arnold inaugural competition in Australia, and in Melbourne, and the national body said, we'll try and foot the bill. And 3 weeks before the competition, not a cent. And then they came to say that, we didn't get any subventions from the central government. So then again, I had to go back to the Assembly and say, listen, central government didn't come through for me. I have to get to Melbourne in 3 weeks' time. And eventually, 2 days before I was ready to go, eventually I got the funding from the assembly and I was able to go to Australia.
Yes, it seems that it's always a challenge when it comes to the athletes, not just bodybuilding. I have heard all these stories with different sporting disciplines, and I hope one day we can get it right. But what drew my attention to getting you here is I saw a flyer you're advertising a triathlon.
Oh yeah.
That's upcoming. I mean, just before we end this wonderful interview, it's always good chatting with you. Yeah. Tell us about that upcoming event.
Yeah, well, the triathlon every year, the Kelton Thomas Bodybuilding Foundation, we try to put on 2 or 3 events a year. And of course, you'll appreciate that we're in a pandemic year, or the last couple of years, and we're just coming out of the pandemic, and now we're in endemic stage. And it will be our 2nd annual triathlon. It's a tag team triathlon. The way I stage it is that, and this is open to international competitors as well. So we're going to have it.
International?
Yes. Okay. So we're going to have it, all the distances will be Olympic or Ironman standard. So it's a lot of money involved. Yeah. It's over $50,000 in prize money. We're going to have started with the cycling. Right. The cycling starts at Wilson Road.
Right.
And it goes up to Rockley Vale Junction, across the North Coast Road, through Mason Hall, all the way over to Hope and down the highway, back to Wilson Road. Yeah, they handed the tag over to the runners.
Right.
And that's a 10-mile ride.
Right, fantastic tag team.
So you hand it over to a runner. Right. So on your team.
A 10-mile run.
No, it's a 10-mile ride.
Oh, right, 10-mile ride. So you ride first.
You ride first.
And then you run.
Then you run.
From where?
The runner takes it from Wilson Road, where the rider started, because he come back to that
come back to Wilson, yes.
And it's a 7.5-mile run, just over 10K, down to Storby.
So Storby is where the swimming will be taking place.
So you hand your tag over to the swimmers at Storby.
This will be a really nice competition.
And then the swimmers will swim from Storby over to Pigeon Point.
And is it mixed teams, or?
You can have any team in any mix you want. Okay. Male and female.
Yes.
Teams, 8 for all ages as well. And the swim is actually 1.4 mile swim. So it's anybody thinks that they're an Ironman and they can do it on their own, they're welcome. There will be a special prize for the Ironman section.
So this is a change from the inaugural one?
You didn't have, well, actually no, the inaugural one was a tag team, but it was not Ironman or Olympic distances. It was a more condensed, shorter version. But this one, I mean, if you're giving away all that prize money, you got to give them some, they got to work for it.
I have a producer here who says he can run. I think I will tag up on him, but I can take it to the finish line, but not from the beginning. But this sounds very, very, very interesting, very, very exciting. Happy to see that you are coming out of your comfort zone in bodybuilding. You're into triathlon. We have had about 3 triathlons this year already. The Rainbow Cup, and then a guy from Buko had one. So Kelton, I said, I want to wish you all the best with the national team. I really hope that the funding comes through, because it's a very, very important element in ensuring success.
Yes,
right?
Yes, indeed.
And this event is still long in September, but the registration starts on July 12th.
On July 12th,
yeah. And you can leave your number. I know the
flyer says, but you can contact me. It's 305-9080, or you can call the secretary, which is 324-2171. Mr. Odessa Nelson. You could contact her as well. And you can get more details online. You can go on our website and so on.
So you have social
media as well. Yeah, it's going to be all over social media. So teams from Trinidad. Now, by the way, we've written to all the armed forces, the police, the Coast Guard, everyone to send a team. So let's see.
I have a idea who finished last Friday, but I won't say that on here. But thank you so much, Mr. Tobigo.
Pleasure. Yes.
And of course, feel free to always come and share information on this platform, Inside the Game, Tobago Sports Live, and Tobago Updates. So we have been chatting with Mr. Tobago. His biceps still stronger, bigger than mine, but I'm getting there. Yeah. But I'm getting there. I have been lifting the food on this left hand, on this side here. Yes, so we're going to take a break. And of course, we're going to come back with a very, very important interview with Mr. Peter Granville, former head coach of Tobago United. We're going to talk about what we saw of the national women team 2 nights ago. Are we in for another episode tomorrow night? Stay tuned. We're getting it from Mr. Granville.
Let's go!
Joining us on Inside the Game is the former head coach of Tobago United, Peter Granville. We'll be breaking down the Trinidad and Tobago women football team defeat to Canada and much more. You can also have your say by sending your voice notes to 284-6597. Inside the Game, interactive, informative, and entertaining. Every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. only on Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. Get inside the game.
Tobago, it's your turn. The N3ATT hosts its 2022 National Junior Championships at the Dwight York Stadium on July 9th and 10th at 10 a.m. on both days. Admission $40. Children under 12 are free. Come see the best junior athletes from across Trinidad and Tobago, including those from the 2022 Carifta Games. This is the last opportunity for athletes to attain the qualification standard for the World Under 20 Championships to be held in Cali, Colombia from August 1st to 6th. Tobago, come out and support the National Junior Championships, July 9th and 10th at the Dwight York Stadium.
Joining us on Inside the Game is the former head coach of Tobago United, Peter Granville. We'll be breaking down the Trinidad and Tobago women football team defeat to Canada and much more. You can also have your say by sending your voice notes to 284-6597. Inside the Game, interactive, informative, and entertaining. Every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. only on Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. Get inside the game.
Let's go!
Yes, welcome back. We are down to our final interviewee of this Inside the Game. A very special guest, a good friend of mine as well. Remember, we are Inside the Game, live on Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. Of course, in this segment, I still am looking for your voice notes because we really want to get you inside the game, right? 284-6597. But before we get into the interview, take in these highlights.
To Estadio BBVA in the beautiful Monterrey, Mexico. One of two venues for this year's CONCACAF W Championship. This game between Canada and Trinidad and Tobago, the second of the night in Group B. Can she be the spark to help them get to their 8th World Cup? Well, it all starts here. Might face some of her teammates later in this tournament. It's Rose on the dribble, has Fleming. Becky takes it first. Now Sinclair gets to some space. Christine Sinclair off the post. Oh. She can't believe it. She tasted number 190, but just drags it wide. But it sneaks past Quinn. Lauren Sinclair! It's 190! Christine Sinclair puts Canada up 1-0. It is a perfect cross to the head of the best goal scorer in international soccer. Janine Becky, who's on the ball now. Becky to the end line. Sinclair stopped. Wants the second go. For this challenge, this is what they're looking at in the VAR room at the bottom right. And this is exactly what Katia Garcia is seeing on the screen. She has decided it is going to be a penalty. She wants to make it 2 here for Canada. Fleming, up and over. Game on, still 1-0. Here comes Becky, right down the middle. Janine Becky save, now Fleming up and over again. to get atop of Group B. It's a good touch in the box. Grosso! Julia Grosso! Her first ever international goal. It puts Canada up 2-0. And she gets picked up by her teammate, Jordan Huitema. Becky St. George all the way through. Grosso, did she make it 2? She does. 2 for Julia Grosso, 3 for Canada. At the beginning of this night, she had not scored a goal for this Canadian women's national team, and now she has 2. Kailen Sheridan. Becky has Leon. She's gonna not opt to go with an early cross instead. She goes the same exact ball as before, and it's Jessie Fleming at the penalty spot. This time she puts it away. Great decision making here from Janine Beckie. Look at the runs in the box by Canada. 3 different types of run. Huitema goes to the near post. Leon takes the back. Grosso finds Becky, and Becky finds the back of the net. An emphatic celebration from Janine Beckie, who has been pestering this back line for 86 minutes and finally figures out a way. Learning from the actual best to ever do it, Christine Sinclair. Here's Becky. Huitema! That's what you get. Clinical finishing from Jordan Huitema. 6th goal for Canada on the night. And Jordan Huitema with her running. She checks her shoulder, finds a good piece. And that is going to be the final whistle by Katia Garcia. And a big clap.
You know, of course, as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, it hurts when you see your country represented on the world stage, you know, taking 6 goals. But some will say that, you know, they represented, and we should be proud. But I'm no expert when it comes to football. You can ask me about cricket, but I do have someone sitting next to me that understands football. Having been a former national under-17 and under-20 coach, of course, also a supervisor of coaches, and he goes by the name Mr. Peter Granville. Thank you so much for being on Inside the Game finally.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It is indeed a pleasure, and it's indeed to have you, one of my work colleagues, and I want to say colleagues, interview me.
Yes, and I have actually...
It used to go the other way before, isn't it?
So we can treat this as a discussion.
Yes, of course, of course.
Fantastic. I mean, and I said former. I mean, are you still actively involved in coaching, or are you fully retired?
I'm playing now.
You play?
I'm playing a bit of football with I-95.
Right.
I'm playing cricket with John Pollard and the likes of, I think, not Murray Road, there's another place in I'm enjoying my life. I've retired, and I wanted to do me for the entire year. And I've done me, and probably have overdone me a bit, but I've had a wonderful year of not being not here. Has it been easy? No. Do I have a lot of money? No. I have had a lot of fun.
But you enjoy it.
I am enjoying my retirement.
But I'm sure
I'll work again. I will work again.
But I'm sure you didn't enjoy that game from Trinidad and Tobago versus Canada.
Well, I enjoyed the football from Canadians' perspective. Mm-hmm. However, being a patriot and a former national coach and somebody who continues to support football in Trinidad and Tobago, I was in shambles. I was messaging with a friend of mine who unfortunately doesn't have ESPN. And at the end I said to him, I can't go to bed now because I have a tabanka.
Right.
You know, it was an unbelievable game. I couldn't understand what I was seeing. And it's nothing to do about the coach here or coaches, because it's unethical as a coach at my level anyways to ill speak another coach, and I will never ever do that. However, what I saw night before last night is something that was unexplainable, and I want to say this. I want to say thanks to the Rayborn's family, Marvin Rayborn's family. I was at their house for about 5 days. I went for 1 day, and I ended up there about 5 days, and I had a wonderful time. And it is in that context I need to say thank them. However, the aunt left me. I tell you, there's only one woman in this world in the United States that knows more football, I believe, than that aunt of Marvin Rayburn. And she left me at hard time. She said, Peter, I don't want to get archived. Archived because what I've seen here, I have archived. So I was left alone to watch the second half. But an unbelievable game, and we've got to do something about it. What is the answer? I don't have the answers. However, I think that we need to have, coming out of this tournament, some kind of getting together of coaches and technical staff or technical personalities to determine what's the way forward. It's not a quick fix. It's not a quick fix.
So going into this game against Canada, what were your expectations? Did you foresee a 6-0?
I'm an eternal optimist, right? And I'm always hoping for victory. Realistically, I thought maybe 3 goals. And that's what I said at the Rayburn's home before we ventured inside to the television room. I want to say this. Goalkeeper Forbes was the player of the match.
Outstanding. Yaya said it. Yaya said it as well.
I didn't.
Yaya said it as well. And I think all of Trinidad and Tobago who saw the game, she kept us in the game.
And I'm not talking about goalkeeper of the match for Trinidad and Tobago. Goalkeeper of the match, Trinidad and Tobago versus Canada. She was unbelievably brilliant.
Yeah, she kept. I mean, there was 1-0 up until I think the 75th minute because they scored like 5 goals in 11 minutes, I believe, right? I mean, you as a coach, with your keen eyes, what could we have done differently in that game to not go down by so many goals? Because as you mentioned, you say you don't want to ridicule the coach.
No, and whatever I say is not about. It's not about the coach.
But as a coach, I mean, going into the first,
because the players got to take some responsibility as well.
So you're going into half at 1-0. I felt like we
were in
the game
because there was in my opinion, a questionable penalty. However, I think it was equalized by
him missing
missing that. However, what I saw that I was not impressed with is the fact that we were not coming out of the box. We were defending. It was, for me as a coach, a drill that we have called attacking the box from central or wide positions. Which means you have strikers, or maybe 2 strikers, 4 midfield players attacking 4 defenders. And when the defenders would win the ball, or the ball will go over bar or outside, whatever, you just give the ball back, and then the opponent, the attacking team comes again. That's what I saw. We never went into the 18-yard box of the Canadian team.
And you think that was a management tactic going into the game?
Well, it was. I wasn't there to hear anything.
From what you saw.
But I believe, strongly believe that it was. And one could understand that you will do that because when you're out of depth, you've got to come up with a game plan to try to hold your own and hit on the break, right? However, but what I saw is we played with 1 on top. Unfortunately, I was on a phone call when the game started, so I did not know the formation. But to me, it seemed 1 on top.
We played 1,
Which means that there was what we call, in European football, a number 9.
Yes, a false 9. They call it.
Right. I didn't see a number 10.
You didn't see a number 10.
I didn't see a number 10. And for me, when we won the ball or got the ball back, there was no avenue for coming forward. So again, we were giving the ball back to Canada to come at us again. And I would say this to you, Marcus. In those drills of which I spoke a couple minutes ago, the defenders will defend well. People like, and I want to call national former players. People like Tagan. defending, they will do well.
For 90 minutes.
But after Jason Scotland and Kevin Nelson and Adi Reek and midfield players are coming at you in a drill purposes for over 20 minutes, they're going to score on you. So I know in my headspace, it was just a matter of time.
Yes. Yeah.
However, I want to give clues to the entire team and his coach to go in at 1-0 at the half.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did not think that doing that for 90 minutes would have survived. We would have survived.
Yeah.
The writing was always on the wall. 6 goals?
So,
I didn't see it.
So put yourself in Kenwyne's position. You are the coach of this national women's team, up against the likes of Canada. We have Costa Rica tomorrow. They won their first game. Then we have Panama. How would you analyze all these teams, and what will be your approach as coach? Because we're still aiming to qualify from the group, right? Yes, we lost 6-0 yes, day before yesterday, but we have Costa Rica and Panama to play still. We can still get some victories there.
Right. Well, we've got to forget
forget
that
Canada,
game.
Yes.
If I were the coach of that team, I would say nothing in the dressing room after the game other than let's get ready and head back to the hotel.
Okay.
And then I would analyze with my technical staff, by viewing when the players are in bed, to be able after breakfast. And after, of course, you have maybe before breakfast, you have a recovery, 20 minutes, half an hour just to recover. And after breakfast, then I will do my analysis. The following game, I don't see us having a number 9. I don't see it. Because a number 9 has got to be a player like an Alan Shearer. He's got to, that player's got to be a player like Manchester United there. He's now coaching. I call it the Bulldog there. National. He's got the most goals now.
For Manchester United?
No, he's finished now. He's coaching Derby County.
Oh, Rooney.
Yeah. He's got to also be... we're talking Chelsea now. Not Chelsea. We're talking Spurs now.
Right.
I don't know those players. I'm an Arsenal fan, so we're talking. Harry Kane. That's a number 9.
Yes.
They score goals for fun,
and they know how to score
goals out of quarter half chances.
Yes, they know how to score goals.
Realistically thinking, I don't think we have that. So I would go. I would go with 4-4-2.
Right.
I go for 4-4-2.
So you understand what you have and you use yes.
Because it's good to want to play a system that we see on television. And I'm not saying that Coach Jones is doing that.
Right.
However, we have to know what we have. And what I have seen so far, we don't have an out-and-out number 9.
But in some countries you can associate a brand or a style of play. What is our style or brand of play?
At one time, Coach Gally come and said we're a soak or something. And for me, we seem to be changing from coach to coach.
Yes.
Because we do not have, we as coaches, and I want to say, a Tobago coach, doesn't have to be me or coaches. Somebody from the North Zone, Eastern Counties, Kumana, Toko, Point Fortin, because we had a lot of players coming from those regions. And until we have those coaches coming together into a warrior room, and I said that against David John Williams, we sat in a warrior room when I was member of the board of the TT Pro League, and we warred, if that's a word. We had a war, but we came out with a philosophy, what we want to see in league. I don't think Trinidad and Tobago have a philosophy. So I asked the question to you. Sorry, I know it's your interview.
No,
where does Tobago fit in the national scheme of things?
Where
do we fit? I understand there's a team training, and I know that I'm going to be part of it because I have a grandson now. I had some concerns about the COVID and being around him. But I will coach. I will be part of the Tobago setup. But my question is to national: where do we fit? These players that's training, what are they training for? What is the light at the end of the tunnel for them? And I know I'm straying here a little bit. But I'm saying, we had a triangular tournament, right, recently. Barbados, Guyana, Trinidad, and Tobago. For me, and I'm not knocking Angus Eve. I saw him at Dave John Williams' funeral. We hugged, whatever. But I'm saying, why did we not have, or why are we bringing back 7 pros to play in a tournament like that? Why did we not have Guyana, Barbados, Trinidad, and Tobago, so that the national coach can see the Tobago players that may have the potential and the prerequisites to be a national player or be in the national squad.
So you are basically saying that the national team is incomplete. Because
I'm saying that because maybe I'm wrong to say that because I haven't been wrong. I've been traveling a little bit and playing with cricket and doing my stuff. Yeah. But I don't know where Tobago fits. Maybe they're fitting that somewhere that I don't know. Yeah. But I don't see it. I don't see a comprehensive plan for Trinidad and Tobago. If I'm picking a Tobago cricket team, and I'm not saying that you're old, 5 years ago, you are on the team. And there's certain people that's on the team. Yeah. So I don't need to really see you. I'm looking in the rural areas. I'm looking for the next fitted pieces of the puzzle. And I'm not sure that that's happening nationally. I don't know why Yaya is not in the team. I mean, I spoke to Coach Jones. I didn't get too much involved in why. And he said, well, you know, whatever. And I'm asking, Yaya is the best striker I have seen in the Caribbean or in this because this part of the hemisphere.
Well, tonight she said that she has no grievances with the coach. She has a problem with the system. And when she voices her opinion, some of the players, they don't take it lightly. Well, in a sense. So she pulled herself away from it because in her opinion, she is very experienced and she's a senior member of the squad. Yeah. And she feels that she can impart her knowledge on the other players.
Have a voice.
And then the other players, they're not accepting, that.
Well,
and so they feel away and the chemistry isn't there. So you can't be on a team and the 10 people going so and then you're here by yourself.
It's a lonely place to be.
It's a lonely place to be.
Depending on how you take it.
Yes, so that's how she felt.
Well, and I could allude to that. And I want to say this to all who's listening here. I may be the only coach in possibly 20 years that has never been fired from Trinidad and Tobago football. I walked away.
You walked away.
Because I thought that the knowledge that I received in England and the various parts of the world was not received properly. Not by the players, but by the management at the time. And again, I want to make it clear, has nothing to do with Austin Jack Warner. He remains my friend. Now, saying that may cause me never to coach a national team again. And guess what? I'm not worried about that. However, somebody like Yaya is the same. It's like a Roy Keane. Roy Keane has a voice. Roy Keane was Alex Ferguson's coach on the field while he was a player. And if he was not happy, he voiced his opinion. Harry Kane, and people take it to think that you're behaving like a big-time Charlie. But people like Yaya and people like Dwight York and people like Russell Latipi, we see them in this country once in our lifetime, And we've got to ensure and make sure, very careful that we don't lose their voices. Because they should have a voice because they understand it. Yaya have been there, she's been tried and tested and have passed the test. And I'm saying, she may come off as well, she is probably, I've never coached her, a perfectionist. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I am a perfectionist. At Lyman, I am.
And enjoying it as well.
At work, I am. And at coaching, I am. My players can tell you that. Because there are about 7 components to my life,
Yeah. And how do you manage personalities in a team as a coach? Because there are some people with very big egos, And if you as a coach, you can't manage that, you're in trouble.
Well, and that is where your formal training comes in as a coach. And I'm not knocking any coaches to say that they don't have the formal training. But there's some courses that we do here, like a D license and and those things are good because that's good for the area that the coach that's doing the minor league and the whatever. But the courses and stuff that you must do, you've got to travel. You have to go to England. My first course was about 3 months.
And that's
to know you wait for a license. Wow. I thought it was the 2 months, but I had to come back and do things and go back and do another. And then they send you to clubs. And thank God for my brother John that I was able to go to England every year at Swindon Town, at Queen's Park Rangers, at Millwall, and at Dwight York's club to observe at Reading where Shaka was. My brother was the goalkeeper's coach at Reading. And I would go and observe. Because learning is really not, if you're bright, you could pass an exam. Because you could cram.
But the hands-on approach.
But the hands-on approach is experience over time.
Yeah, you're right.
And how do you coach Messi? How do you coach Cristiano Ronaldo? And Messi is a good one. How do you coach those players? How do you coach? You know,
and how not to accept their opinion.
Because it is not about coaching, you know. It's about managing their egos and managing their lifestyle.
Yes.
For example, one of the and I watch Shaq and him all the time, and I hope he's watching me tonight. You know, I get up if I miss it. I get up at 5:30 and I watch ESPN FC.
I enjoy Shaq as
well. And they were talking about Neymar, and you know, no coach have really been able since he's left. Real Madrid to Barcelona to manage him at PSG, and they're saying the coach that's there now that just took over. I think he was just on for a couple of days ago.
I think
he has the prerequisite to manage him. I would tell you this, and Jason Scotland, I hope you're watching, and he will tell you, I dropped Jason Scotland from a national team, and he was my main striker. Because he was saying, you know, I was trying to deal with his mental toughness and psychological fitness, right? And he said to me, but coach, I played 19 games, you know, and I was in the national team before, the under 20, and you dropped me from the 2 practice games. I said, well, I'm looking at other people. And I was looking at Tim from Charlottesville, really, but not to take over. Tim's a midfield player. And I was looking at Jason Nelson, Kevin Nelson, sorry. And I was looking at Connell Glenn, and looking at Jason Scotland. And again, you see the names I'm calling? I scouted all those players all over Trinidad and Tobago. And I had an under 20 training session in Tobago on a Tuesday and Thursday. And then I flew to Trinidad on Friday and coached the Trinidad, not national, Trinidad team on Saturday and Sunday. Or sometimes mostly on Sundays. And until they played each other several times, I selected a squad of 35. Then it became the national squad. But you're coming back, I want to come back to the ego thing. It is really managing lifestyles, you know. Because I have lived in England, and that's where I learned, well, your kids are in bed. That's where I learned to drink beer. Because I thought, based on other coaches, that you know, and you don't drink. And when I think, Pete, what are you having, mate? Well, I'll have a lager top. Pete, what's going on with you, mate? Lager top, that's for girls. And then, you know, it doesn't mean that you have to drink, but it doesn't mean that if you're drinking beer or Guinness, that you don't put the work in. The toughest people I've ever played against in my life is when I was in England. They would drink all night, and I mean beers and stuff, not hard liquor like ramen. And the next day, Marcus, you cannot follow them in a training session. So they're mentally tough.
Mindset.
And I could recall, and I want to say this, and Dwight could allude to this. There's one time when Ron Atkinson was not playing Dwight, but starting him or playing him when he took over from Graham Taylor. And I remember Cyril Regis saying to me, Dwight is going to play, you know. You got to talk to him, he's going to play. They're just seeing him. They're just trying to make him tough. You know, they're checking him out because they want him to be mentally tough and psychologically fit to be able to play. And that's what their life is about, you know, in this sport. So for me, Yaya is not the savior of the women's football, but she can be an asset being there. And to the players who weren't listening to Yaya, I want to say to most of you, I didn't see you on stage the night before. I didn't see you on stage. And I'm saying sometimes you have to disagree to agree. And Yaya and the Forbes sisters and others like her, like what's the former captain? Meaning Johnson.
Yes.
They should have a voice. They've been there. They've been tested. And guess what? Let's be honest. Nothing against any of the players. And some of you played well. But you're not good enough. You need others to come in and be part.
And as we wrap, right? How should Kenwyne Jones and the team approach tomorrow's game? Because I mean, if it is that you're not mentally strong, you will enter tomorrow's game still down from that 6-0 defeat, because I'm sure they entered the game not thinking that they would have been defeated by 6-0. How should they approach tomorrow's game against Costa Rica?
And as I said, end of the game, dressing room, nothing about assessing. Do the assessment simply, don't spend too much time on it. That's gone. Dead, dusted. And my next thing is, what can you now do for me lately? So you focus now on the other game, not on the past. That's gone. And for me, whatever system Coach Jones is playing, for me, I would like to see a little bit more of controlling of the ball, good first touch, which to me we didn't seem to have. Right. The touch of the Canadians were audacious. You know, they were playing 1 or 2 touches. And we need to be a bit more aggressive, not aggressively violent, but assertively aggressive. You know, we got to play as though we're playing at home. We've got to pick up 5 and 6 yellow cards.
And as we deserve to
we
be
got to kick them in the teeth.
We
got to put them off their games because we have to know where we are. And if we are not technically suave or good or experienced as they are, we have to know that, are they better than us? Yes. How do we get them? We've got to settle. We have to get them off the game. We've got to kick them. I'm not talking about breaking feet.
I understand.
Assertively aggressive.
Yes.
We have to be that. And when we have the ball, we have to be able to play into channels, into people's feet. I didn't see that. And for me, again, the answer is not Peter Granville. It's not even Kenwyne Jones. It's not even Yaya Cordner. It is a number of coaches and technical people coming together to plan the way forward because the tournament here ends by the weekend.
Yeah. And then what
happens after that? We need development program. How do we get that? Coaching education so that the coaches know what they're teaching. Because coaching is teaching. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, so much wisdom from Mr. Granville. And of course, viewers, remember we're still hoping that we get some information from you guys via the voice note. We're looking to wrap this interview. Very, very good discussion always with Mr. Granville. I'm trying to look for the number for you guys here. Yes, so you can still send your voice notes to 284-6597. 284-6597. You can also call, share your perspective on the game last night. You can share some advice to the national team, how we can get back to some, I don't want to say winning ways, but, better than what we would have done 2 nights before. Mr. Granville, before we, wrap the interview,
Inside the game.
Any comments from you?
Well, all right. I got the call yesterday to be here.
Yeah.
And none of you don't have an idea, don't have an intelligent clue of what I went through to get here. Right?
Yeah, you say you were in the other island.
I was in Kumuto. I was in Kumuto dealing with some legal issues and nothing to do with me being locked up or anything like that, but some legal issues and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a friend the other night and he did not have the ESPN cable network.
Right.
And I said, see the one? And I said, yeah. I said, TNT is in shambles, seemingly no shape at all. And I was just sending it to him. Never knowing that I would be here. And because sometimes you can forget things. I said, Canada threw away a penalty. And then, I said, it's a backs and forwards game.
Yeah.
And then I said, Tanika Forbes made 4 blinding saves.
Yes.
No, blinding,
Yeah.
Blinding is almost charity goals for me, anyways. I said, Canada is now 2 up, so that's second half. Right? And I said, TNT went into Canada's half twice, and it is now in the 71st minute. Those things are unacceptable. 19 shots to Canada, none to Trinidad in the 71st minute. Then I said, Canada's shape is awesome. Canada 3 up. Canada 4 up. Canada's first touch is unbelievable. Now 5. But I said, enough for me, I go to sleep. So I said, no one's been called, right? I said, they've been playing. I said, Canada have been playing 2 touches for 98% of the game, approximately. Canada 6 up. 90th minute, 3 additional minutes, game set and match. Now I can't sleep. I have a tabanka. We'll chat tomorrow, right? And I didn't know I was coming here, but that was just... And it has nothing to do with bad mouthing. All I am suggesting again, and I asked the question, put aside Peter Granville, take away Bertil Sinclair, right? Because we've coached at national level. Let's say we finish with Donald said Trinidad don't want to see us anymore. Are you telling me, Marcus, that there is no coach, not one coach in Tobago that can become even an assistant coach at national level? So I'm asking the question, where does Tobago fit in the national scheme of things? I don't know. What I do know is that we have a good TFA now. The COVID has, of course, they've took now in the groove because of the COVID, and maybe now finding themselves and stuff. I know Everton Alfred well. I know the other Alfred, we call him Kitty. Desmond Alfred, good man. You know, solid defender back in the day. Even my former line secretary, Jomo Pitt, I understand is part of that setup. So I expect big and bright things coming out of Tobago. And what I see is that we don't have to depend on Trinidad to do our own things here. Because back in the day, I remember being in a squad playing against the Chinese and the Indians. I didn't make the team, but I was in the squad. I remember us having a triangle tournament with Barbados, and I can't remember who again. And we had those tournaments here. And I'm saying, if we can set ourselves up here, doing those things using the Dwight York Stadium, we can call the national coach and say, hey, come and see Marcus Daniel. Come and see him, because and others like him. And until we recognize that we don't have to wait on handouts, because I've never been educated, neither by the, but I shouldn't say that, by the TFA, nor the TNTFA, nor really by the THA. I paid and went on my courses. But of course I went on seminars that the THA would have given me to, you know, drug rehab things and stuff like that. So I want to thank the THA for the years that I served. And it was an honor serving at the THA. An honor meeting people like you.
Yes, of course.
And others like my good friend who's down the back laughing. You know, but we can put ourselves in order, our house in order. And I want to say this. Tobago and Tobagonians and Tobago coaches, we need to take some responsibility as well for not being as assertive as we need to be. And I'm saying this, I'm not waving my flag. I'm always asked in Trinidad, right? And I went to a function that I was invited to, and I want to thank the alderman of a certain region in Trinidad, the Aranguez region, for inviting me to a function last Friday. And while I'm meeting other members of staff, they introducing me as, you know, a former worker of the THA and, you know, supervisor of coaches. And they say, so where in Trinidad you live? And I say, well, no, I'm from Tobago. Oh, we thought you were from Trinidad, working in Tobago. And they said, well, you're not operating like a Tobago there. So I said, well, because me not talk bad, you know. And they said, no, your whole aura is kind of different. And by nature, we're easy people. Easy alone don't cut it. We need to be a little bit more assertive. Marcus, you were that. You were in sixes, although they say it's only in Canaan because of I seem to hit some sixes. And you were always a very high pumped, high energy. Listen to this interview. I can be, well, you know, the national team need to be that. And if I have no energy, I can't coach. I'm 61 years old. I'm 61 years old. And I am playing with I-95 and I'm playing cricket all down in Balmain and things. I am in hardball cricket. And mind you, I hit a 4 down in Mia Road the other day.
I remember that game we played with the Chief Justice there.
And the Chief Justice invited me.
You bowl well.
I'm telling you. But, you know, getting back on track, we as coaches in Tobago, and specific to football and to sport, we need to take some responsibility, because I don't think, number one, we're working together. There are too many my club and club. And club is good. It has its place. However, I am a firm believer, Marcus, and all listeners, that if we want Tobagonians, cricketers, footballers, to be seen for national, we need to take the best. And for me, it means one club. One club for cricket to play in the National League, one club for football to play in the Pro League, one club to play in the Super League, one club on the 17, on the 15s, on the 13s, one team. So you take the variables from all the clubs into one team. Call it Tobago All-Stars. Forget Tobago United. That's done and dusted. Tobago All-Stars, Tobago Island Players, Tobago Not United, which might be the most appropriate name at this point. But we need to put our house in order, because Trinidad ain't taking us seriously. And for us to be taken seriously, we've got to take the best players and go to Trinidad, play in the best league there, and knock on the door. And I've said this many times in interviews. They ain't answering, we knock on the door again, a little harder. They ain't answering, we knock on the door a little harder. And if they ain't answering, we pump and kick down the door. How do we do that? Not by being aggressively violent, but by winning games and showcasing at a different level. But for one club and 4 clubs playing in the same league in Trinidad, really? I don't see it. I have nothing against people who have the ambitions to so do. I don't think that any national coach, if each club that is going to be registering 25 players, 25 by 4, to me, the last time I checked, is 100. I don't think we have 100 senior players that Anglesey is interested in seeing. I think if we have 21 or 25 players at that ilk, in the same for cricket, and maybe other sports, I think then they will take us seriously. But if we go in club, coaches, get off your egos and let's get together and do something for Tobago. Keep your club, keep your money, keep your coaching schools, but when we're going to represent at those levels in Trinidad, we need to go as one unit. They may not share my views, and that's why I'm probably sitting here, not coaching a national team anymore, because I go and argue for 65 or 68,000 people in Tobago. When I do interviews, Marcus, for I-95, I've never applied, I don't have application forms. I've done analysis for CNC3, TV6. I've never asked them to come, they've contacted me. I don't know why.
Knowledgeable, very knowledgeable.
I don't know why.
You know, and it's always good having discussion about sports on a whole, not just football, but you know. And we really thank you so much for coming here with us tonight, talking about, of course, the women's team, and you know, we delve into different things or different aspects of coaching and the system in Trinidad and Tobago need to do much better. But obviously, you know, time always flies when we're having a good time.
This is the first time, I suppose.
Yes, and of course, you know, once you are inside the game on Tobago Sports, on Tobago Updates, your voice will be heard because we have a really large following, and we want to thank all of them for being, you know, here tonight. Of course, taking in the interview here with Mr. Granville. So, Mr. Granville, I want to thank you so much. You know, on behalf of myself and my my colleague, Coach Kavi.
It's indeed a pleasure to be on the other side from you.
That's how life is, eh? Yes. And also,
so really, you gotta know when to hand over there.
Yes, so I thank you so much, and of course, I wish you all the best in your retirement. Enjoyment.
I'll work again, you know. I'll just have a little fun these days. I will return to work.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up.
Let's go! Tobago, it's your turn. The N3ATT hosts its 2022 National Junior Championships at the Dwight York Stadium on July 9th and 10th at 10 a.m. on both days. Admission $40. Children under 12 are free. Come see the best junior athletes from across Trinidad and Tobago, including those from the 2022 Carifta Games. This is the last opportunity for athletes to attain the qualification standard for the World Under 20 Championships to be held in Cali, Colombia from August 1st to 6th. Tobago, come out and support the National Junior Championships, July 9th and 10th at the Dwight York Stadium.
Put a smile on you. It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items.
Tobago, it's your turn. The N3ATT hosts its 2022 National Junior Championships at the Dwight York Stadium on July 9th and 10th at 10 a.m. on both days. Admission $40. Children under 12 are free. Come see the best junior athletes from across Trinidad and Tobago, including those from the 2022 Carifta Games. This is the last opportunity for athletes to attain the qualification standard for the World Under 20 Championships to be held in Cali, Colombia from August 1st to 6th. Tobago, come out and support the National Junior Championships, July 9th and 10th at the Dwight York Stadium. Let's go!
But I know you guys are having fun, you know. I mean, you told us that you wanted to go for 2 hours, so we're going for 2 hours tonight, right? So we have 2 minutes just to wrap. Of course, always good talking to Mr. Granville. You know, very passionate. I say coach, and enjoying his retirement. You know, he calls it enjoyment, not retirement. You know, so thankful for him to be here tonight talking about the women's footballers. Yes, and of course, as we end, we always talk about the upcoming sports. And I can jump off with cricket, right?
Definitely.
Yes. So tomorrow, obviously, we start this 3 months. I call it a trial series, where the Tobago senior team will be taking on a Trinidad National League team.
Yes.
Right. The reason why I call it a National League team, the team was basically selected out of players who would have performed exceptionally well out of the Premier Division 50 overs and T20 in Trinidad. So it's a really good team. Will be led by Adrian Ali. They have the likes of Sharon Lewis, Tishon Castro, this number of players that are household names in Trinidad and Tobago. Not the usual name like the Giant Bravos and the Ravi Rampol. Yeah, they're not coming because they didn't perform exceptionally well in the National League.
Right.
Tobago team will be led by Ansel Ned. We have some like Leon Lezama. We have young Orlando James, who was selected for the national on a 17 and on a 19 team. He's also in the mix. A number of players who would have done extremely well in the recently concluded 40 overs and T20. They are in the mix. Dario Melville. You know, we expect a lot from him because he would have actually top scored or been the most runs batsman in the 40 overs. So he's there in the lineup as well. We have Dejon Charles, and you saw Dejon Charles in the Trinidad T10 Blast doing really, really good. So we are hoping that, you know, the Tobago team perform to potential, because they do have the potential. Tomorrow's game starts at 9:30, and of course, thankful that Tobago Sports Live going to be there to stream that game for those who can't, come in or can't be there tomorrow. It's free of charge. Right, it's going to be 50 overs. Then we're going to play 20 overs on Saturday and 40 overs on Sunday. So, cricket in action, and we have track and field. Right, you have track and field happening on the weekend.
Of course, we have track and field happening this weekend. It's the junior champs. We're going to see the age group, the under 15s to the under 20s. They are going to be in action this weekend at the Dwight York Stadium. Definitely something to look forward to. And of course, we are encouraging persons to come on down and support the young athletes, right? It's, as you would have heard tonight, it's their last chance, their last opportunity to make it to Worlds. Right. So the athletes are definitely going to be putting their best foot forward. You are definitely going to see some fantastic stuff at the Dwight York Stadium. So come on down and witness it, I guess. And of course, if you cannot be there live, Tobago Sports Live has you. We are going to be streaming the 2 days
Tobago
event.
Sports Live.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm seeing here we have the Baines Ball Bash. Assemblyman Pastor Terence Baines, his event taking place this weekend at the Montgomery Hard Courts. So I know that a number of persons I've been hearing persons talking about it, netball. I think they have small goal as well. So that's taking place this weekend at the Montgomery Hard Courts.
All right, so I'm going to mention one that we do have here, but of course I just kind of remember it's off of my head. The Wolf League, of course, we have the females who are in the middle of their tournament now. So they have a game on Sunday, so the 10th, and Jewels will take on Black Panthers at the Plymouth Recreational Ground. I think the game is at 4 o'clock. So that's something else you can go out and support if you're not into track and field. Of course, football is happening. The women football is happening. Go out and support our future yayas. I mean, we have a lot of persons who are on scholarship. They come back just to, play at home, right? So go out and support them. The Wolf League is happening.
And I'm hoping that they have the ambulance this time.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And we have, of course, the kids 7v7. That's the highest tournament up there in Speyside on the 16th. Then we also have a 7-a-side football tournament starting on the 16th to the 28th in Keenan. I think that's the annual competition down there at Keenan. This is in the month of July. And the final event in the month of July is the Chief Secretary's Golf Charity Tournament.
Yes.
Right. We do have volunteer events taking place in August.
Yes, we have Tobago Hill Climb Festival that's happening on the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th of August. Of course, we don't have the flyers for you tonight, but the flyers will be up on our social media.
This should be interesting. This is a motorsport.
Marcus's, you can either check Marcus's social media, Facebook page, or you can check Tobago Sports Live. Yes, and then we have the concept coaching, that's the under 10, under 8, under 10, the youths, right? They would be at the Plymouth Recreational Ground. Of course, anything else coming to light, we are going to keep you abreast of it. We are going to keep you well informed, as Marcus has said, informative, interactive, and entertaining.
Yes, you had coffee before you came here. Yes, that's good. That's good. Yes, so that looks like a wrap in terms of the events that we have coming up in the month of July and August. Indeed, it has been a really good program tonight, and I want to thank all those who passed through, starting from our professional footballer, versatile, skillful, outstanding Kenya Yayakorda. I want to wish her all the best in her upcoming event. We had Kelton Thomas, bicep a little bigger than mine, talking about his bodybuilding and triathlon event coming up. And we have Mr. George Commission, the N3S president. Of course, you didn't congratulate him on his, because he's now he's newly installed president, right?
Yes.
Right? And of course, Mr. Granville, former coach of National Under 17 and Under 20 team. And really good discussion tonight. I'm hoping that everything that was discussed tonight, that you guys you were informed, it was entertaining. We would have interacted here.
Of course, we are waiting for you to get interactive with us. So please, guys, I know we kind of shy in Tobago. I mean, we ain't gonna tell nobody your name. You can just, send your little voice notes, send your little messages, and we'll basically read them out. And we just want to get interactive with you guys. We want to hear your point of views. Of course, we have some exciting things coming up. You want to stay tuned for that. I want to employ all of the athletes that are going out to do stuff. Go out and do your best. You never know. We will be watching. Tobago Sports Live is always going to be there. We will be watching soon. Before we had our other show, we had the Player of the Week. We want to bring that back. Of course, we want to be in a position where, you might see yourself, and who knows, you might get a little something. Yeah. So do your best. Put your best foot forward. You never know. You might be your Player of the Week.
Fantastic. So lots of exciting stuff to come on this Inside the Game. Gaining the momentum, gaining in terms of the support base, and we're really, really thankful for your support. But we want to get to inside the game, further inside the game.
Of course.
And I'm really happy to be here. I look forward to Thursdays just to talk sports, because I can't talk it elsewhere as passionate as coming on the show and talk to Coach Kami.
That is not going to burst into an argument.
And fight and thing,
Yes.
Yeah, so guys, thank you so much for being with us here tonight. Continue to be safe out there. And go out and support the different sporting activities this weekend. See you again next Thursday. Be safe.
Have a good night.
Let's go.